This program is brought to you by the law firm of Alcock and Associates. There's someone in Arizona who has a passion for helping people in our community and families in other countries around the world. Someone who really cares about the well-being of others and has found an adventure in giving. Someone who has overcome huge personal challenges and has found the answer in helping improve the lives of those in need. Meet Nicholas Alcock, the owner of Alcock and Associates. For 15 years, attorney Nick Alcock has successfully represented thousands of clients in Arizona, building a team of 65 people who share his passion to help others. During that time, he has also dedicated himself to giving back to our community, here and abroad. Follow us in this journey and learn how attorney Nicholas Alcock finds success by helping others and makes giving a true life adventure.
I'm attorney Nick Alcock, the owner of Alcock and Associates Law Firm. People ask me, what makes your firm a little bit different? There are an awful lot of attorneys out there, and there are a lot of attorneys that advertise, needless to say. And I can tell you the one thing that I think stands out is our commitment to charity. So in this program, I'd like to share with you a little bit about what makes me tick, a little bit about what makes my firm tick, and along the way, maybe we'll have some fun. So we'll start off by going to Nicaragua. My firm sponsors a medical mission. And we go to Jinotega, Nicaragua, where there are lots of kids that have cleft lips and cleft palates. Some surgeons come down, great people, and we sponsor this mission so that we can help out these poor kids that otherwise just don't have access to the medical services that they need. Then I figure, look, we're there, we got a little bit of time, let's see if we can build a school in 4 or 5 days, because impossible is nothing, right? Don't worry, I know what you're thinking. What are you doing here in Phoenix? And we are doing plenty of things. So we'll come back to the United States, come back to Arizona. We'll take a quick tour of all the work that we did in the last year, and you'll find out that we are absolutely dedicated to helping out people here in Arizona as much as any other place. So without further ado, we are off on a little adventure to Nicaragua. Vámonos.
So I made it as far as Houston. Got a really nice head cold going. Real nice pressure across here. Pretty excited about getting on a plane to Nicaragua. So far, this trip is working out very, very well. I forgot my medication, so I've had to buy some meds here, but you know, they're not the real deal. So I think I'm gonna go big. I'm trying to decide between the little pills and the big pills. I think it's time to go big for sure. And then I also noticed that my only jacket that I bought the other day, yeah, they didn't take the little security tag off. So I'm kicking butt. I am an international seasoned traveler, doing very, very well so far. I could be a spy.
Desapareció, la fauna se nos esfumó, el cerro el hombre lo quemó y nada quedó. El río desapareció, la fauna se nos esfumó, el cerro el hombre lo quemó y nada quedó.
When I first thought about coming to Jinotega, I had absolutely no idea what to expect. I was thinking maybe they'd be in the middle of the jungle, no electricity, no running water. Turns out that Jinotega is like going back into the 1950s. It's like a time warp, and it's really cool. One of the things that you notice right off the bat is that the architecture is very old and very cool. I don't know exactly what you would expect, but it seems like it's Nicaraguan. Lots of old cobblestone streets, lots of people walking. It's nice to see people out and about, and it's a beautiful day. It's probably 70 degrees. It's nice to see people out talking. I'm attorney Nick Alcock, the owner of Alcock & Associates Law Firm. And I understand that if you are calling a law firm for legal services, it's probably something that you don't want to do, and it's probably something that causes a great deal of stress. There are tons of lawyers out there, and there are billboards, and there's internet advertising, and there are people out there that say that they can get you a check really fast. And I understand that it's very, very confusing. There's so many choices out there. There's one thing that I can tell you, it's very, very important to keep in mind, and that is take your time and find the right attorney to work with you. So when you call my firm, we're going to have more of an informational session than a sales pitch. We're not trying to sell you on who we are. We want to help you through your particular problem. We'll tell you about what makes us a little bit different, but we're not going to ever say, look, you got to sign right now, you got to do this, you got to do that. It just really shouldn't work that way. We're going to give you plenty of information that you really need about your particular case, and then you can take the time to decide whether or not we're the right firm for you. That approach, I think, has made all the difference for me. I think it's why we've been very successful, and I think that's why we're continuing to grow. So if you need an attorney for a DUI, criminal, or personal injury case here in Arizona, give us a call. 602-989-5000 is the number, and you'll find out that it's a free consultation. You come in here, or we can go to you for personal injury cases. We'll sit down and we'll let you know this is what you're looking at, this is what the process is going to be. Everything will be in writing, and you'll be able to understand exactly what you're getting yourself into with a law firm, and also your legal situation and what your possible outcomes are. Again, any type of criminal defense, DUI, or personal injury case, 602-989-5000 is the number. It's a free consultation, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.
Attorney Nick Alcock has traveled to Nicaragua as part of a very important medical mission. The goal of the trip: perform reconstructive surgeries on children with cleft lips and cleft palates who otherwise could never get the procedures that they so desperately need.
All right, so I'm back. This is year 2 for me in Jinotega, Nicaragua, and we are going to be visiting about 200 kids today. Dr. Retson and his staff are going to check out who they can help. It's really interesting because there definitely are some kids that they want to help, but they might be underweight or they might be sick. There definitely are some kids that just can't be helped at all, and so this is a triage to try to figure out who can be helped and who is maybe a good candidate for later. So these poor families, they've been waiting here a long time. It's going to be a tough day for them, but they're going to be a lucky 50 or 60 kids that we're going to be able to work on this week.
The medical team, led by Dr. Nicholas Retson, performs over 50 surgeries completely free in a span of a week, which in the United States would cost nearly $1 million. Dr. Nicholas Retson.
A lot of the people that we see here live up in the mountains. They would not be able to function well in a big city. They wouldn't know how to get around. They wouldn't know how to survive the big city. So we try and come out to them.
Aside from sponsoring the medical team and providing food and basic supplies for the patients' families, Nicholas Alcock is also there to experience the whole process and make sure that each and every patient and their families get the best care possible in a country where medical resources are very scarce.
The cleft lip and the cleft palate surgery is not all that dangerous in and of itself. If there's going to be a problem, if there's going to be a life-threatening situation, it's going to be because of the anesthesia. So we're always very, very careful about making sure that we have anesthesiologists with us who are competent. We also need to work without the benefit of all the monitors and electronic equipment and lab work and everything else that we're used to working with back in the United States.
So through this gate is where Dr. Retson is working on his little patients, and we're about to go inside and see what he's doing with one. And as I'm speaking right now, here comes another one. It's pretty exciting. He's got a very, very busy day today. We're not going to try and get in his way, but hopefully we can learn a little bit about the process. So let's go inside. So I'm all suited up, pretty excited. We're going to go in. They're working on a 2-year-old with a cleft lip and a cleft palate. So I got my scrubs on, I'm going to put my cute little hat on, make sure the kids are going to be all sanitary. I'm going to do this.
The cleft lip and cleft palate cases in Nicaragua are caused by a genetic mutation. It isn't the fault of the environment or nutrition. These kids are simply the victims of a faulty bit of genetic code. Fortunately, it can be fixed relatively quickly. As you can see from the photos, the missions sponsored by Alcock and Associates were successful, and the results are dramatic. We are giving children hope when previously they had none. The difference for these children, however, is enormous. They can grow up and have completely normal lives. Having the opportunity to sponsor this medical mission and completely change the lives of over 100 children and their families is one of the most rewarding experiences in attorney Nicholas Alcock's life.
I'll tell you a couple things about my trip to Nicaragua. One is that I cannot believe how hard those doctors worked. They were having people come in at the last minute. They were exhausted, had already worked on 10 kids, 11 kids, and they're like, impossible is nothing. Let's bring in another kid. It doesn't matter. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We've been operating on kids all day long. We will fit them in. And that's such an inspiration. It's very, very cool to see. And I have to tell you that it affected me. So one thing that I did while I was there, I said, all right, there is a little school that needs to be built. They got the foundation, they started it, they ran out of money, and they couldn't get this thing to go. They ran out of funding for it. So while I was there, I said, look, I want to sponsor this thing. However, we have to get this thing done in 5 days while I'm there. And you know how it works. You want to make sure the job is done right. So while I was there, we decided to go out into the countryside, and you'll meet this little community of people that needed a school, and you'll find out why it really had to be built.
Imagine poverty so crushing that hunger is just a way of life. No running water, no electricity, and no real security. In a shanty village north of Jinotega, Nicaragua, Nicholas Alcock was able to see this type of life conditions firsthand and admire the strength and courage developed by children as young as 2, who help their families carry heavy water bottles all day long from the only source available to this community. In this second visit, Nick Alcock gives out food and toys for the kids to try to provide some sort of relief to the families and let them know that other people around the world still care. Nicaragua is one of the poorest countries in the world, and any type of help really makes a difference in these people's lives. Nick meets with the locals to discuss their needs. While food, shelter, and clothing are in short supply, what the parents really want for their children is a school.
You know, as an American, I know I've got it very good. I'm a very lucky person, and I think most people that live in the United States know that they've got it pretty good. Imagine if you were a parent and you have a 6-year-old or 7-year-old and you say, okay, there's a path to school, and it's about an hour walk. You have to literally walk right through a very dangerous and very active rock quarry. Once you make it through there, then you're hiking on a very dangerous and very narrow highway where buses and trucks are moving by at a very, very high rate of speed. No sidewalks whatsoever. And the one thing that I like to do for these people is give them some sense of security. Obviously, they don't have a lot of security. They don't have food security, income security. They're making $6 a day, maybe if they're lucky, but a lot of times they aren't able to find work. And the type of work that they are able to find is very, very difficult. It's either working in a lettuce field or breaking rocks or very, very manual labor. So I'd like to give the parents at least the notion that while they're at work, they know that their children are safe and they've got a place, a nice school that keeps them out of harm's way.
starting to get real. We're starting to lay the foundation, cleaned out the floor. Gonna lay some more cement. We have enough, just barely. Fortunately, there's a quarry right down there, so we went down to get some more sand, and this thing's getting good. Dos y tres. ¡Ah! I'm attorney Nick Alcock. I'm the owner of Alcock & Associates Law Firm, and I understand there are an awful lot of personal injury attorneys out there, and they all say things like, you know, if you've been in an accident, we'll get you your money fast, and we'll get you the maximum, and you kind of wonder, okay, well, what's going on with these firms, and what really happens with personal injury cases? And what I can tell you is that every firm, essentially, is saying more or less the same thing. And what they're basically saying is that we're not going to charge you any money unless we win your case. And that's how personal injury firms typically operate. And what they're also saying is that we're going to try and get you the maximum settlement possible. And that's basically what every other law firm out there is trying to do. What's the difference with Alcock & Associates? Why should you hire us for a personal injury case? Aside from the fact that we don't have any dancing mascots. I can tell you what that is, and that is I don't want the firm to be the largest firm in the Valley. I do not want to have the most number of clients, but I do want to get the most for the clients that we have. And I actually want to limit my practice so that we can absolutely take care of you. I happen to have an MBA, a Master in Business Administration, and I know that essentially I'm out of business if I don't take care of my clients. And it's very important to me that my clients are very satisfied, very happy, and they get the right outcome, but the way that we handle the case to get to that right outcome is perfect. That's my commitment to my clients. So if you have a personal injury case, if you're unfortunate enough to have been injured in an accident, just give us a call. 602-989-5000 is the number. You're going to find out that we are a little bit of a different breed of cat. We operate slightly differently, and we absolutely look forward to speaking with you and helping you through what could be a very difficult time in your life. We're going to treat you very seriously. We're going to treat you with respect. We'll treat you like family, and we'll make sure that all of your questions are answered. Again, 602-989-5000 is the number here. Any accident case, we can go to you. It's a free consultation. We look forward to talking with you. Y quiero decir gracias a don Victorino por todo su apoyo y su amistad y todo. También quiero decir muchísimas gracias a ustedes. Ustedes son muy, pero muy importantes para mí. También sus niños, sus hijos, los jóvenes aquí. Yo quiero darles un poquito de esperanza, un poquito de fe. Y para mí, otra vez, es un honor conocerles, es un honor estar aquí con ustedes y lo agradezco mucho. Ustedes están cambiando mi vida. So I have to tell you, I've been to a lot of parties in my day, and I've also been to some pretty swanky little black tie affairs. But that party that we had for that community, no electricity, no running water other than that little faucet, under the unbelievable Nicaraguan sky with all these stars, a band playing, we had the flashlights out. That community was just completely alive, and it was one of the best nights of my life. And I'd like to thank everybody for helping me put that together. And I took that feeling from Nicaragua, I took it back to the United States, and I really redoubled my efforts to try and find kids, find families who need help here. Went out to schools, talked to kids about drinking and driving, talked to kids about drug use. Really tried to bring that spirit that I've got from those people back here, and wanted to make a change, want to make a difference. Let's take a quick little tour of all the work that we did over the last year, and you'll see that we did some good stuff here in Arizona as well. Thanks so much for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. Look forward to producing more shows in the future. And if you need legal help, you can always give us a call. 602-989-5000 is the number. Again, 602-989-5000. We look forward to helping you. Hopefully you don't need to call us, but if you do, we're here for you. Thanks so much.
This has been a presentation of Alcock & Associates. For more information, visit alcocklaw.com or call 602-989-5000 for a free consultation. Thanks for watching.